Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead. Today I have a food pantry haul for you. This is our county food pantry, and this is the commodities day, which from my understanding is the government subsidized supplies. And so this is the food that the state puts out, not the county takes care of. It's not local donations, it's statewide donations. So this is, you don't get to shop. This is, you go in, they give you what you get, you don't get upset kind of thing, like I would tell my kids. So this is usually a smaller amount of stuff, and it ends up being a lot of like canned goods, like you can see some dried foods, some frozen foods. A lot of times there's something dairy, or they usually try to have a fruit and a vegetable, like fresh frozen, that kind of thing. And there's always a meat of some kind, and then bread products. So they kind of try to give you a good selection of proteins, vegetable, fruit, starches, that kind of thing. So let me show you what we got. There are 5 cans of sliced potatoes, and thank you all that are my previous viewers that have given me suggestions on how to use these. I played around with them quite a bit, so yeah, thank you for that. So now I'm going to ask, what do you use vegetarian beans and tomato sauce for? I'm assuming these are like baked beans to an extent. Sorry about that. It's so dry. I'm assuming that these taste like baked beans, or that you can kind of modify them to be baked beans. I've never had these before. So once again, let me know, is it just baked beans? Or like maybe like a bland baked bean? What do you use them for? Because I'm thinking maybe even just like dumping in them in chili would be good, since they're already in a tomato sauce. There's 1 can of green beans, 4 cans of cling yellow peaches, yellow cling peaches. Let me say that in the right direction. And then there are 6 cans of this ground pork. And they were giving me some ideas on what they used it for. It's not something I've ever used, but it sounds good. From my understanding, it would be an easy one to heat up and throw barbecue sauce on. So that's all the canned stuff. They have their shelf that had some baby stuff on there, so I picked up these little pouches of banana and a couple pouches of banana pumpkin. My little one is 2, so these obviously are a little bit past what she's at, but these are nice, especially these are nice for just throwing in my purse, and then if she gets hungry in the car, I can pass one back and she can snack on it. And I just thought the banana ones would be neat, something different, and I may even, I don't know, like mix them into something. Like I can see mixing them into a bowl of oatmeal or yogurt or something like that. There are 2 1-pound bags of frijoles or pinto beans. There is a 1-pound bag of mashed potato flakes. I've never been a huge fan of these as mashed potatoes, but these work really well for thickening soups. Instead of using like flour or cornstarch, you can throw in some mashed potato flakes and it thickens it up. There is a pouch of beef stew that's fully cooked and ready to serve. There's 2 2.5-pound bags or 40-ounce bags of sweet corn. There is a 2-pound 8-ounce bag of frozen blueberries. There's 2 of these Herba Mate organic strawberry pomegranate matcha. So I think I will probably end up seeing if my husband wants those. If he doesn't, then my kids would probably drink them. There's 2 just standard bottles of water. There are a couple bags of wheat tortillas. They also had bread on a shelf that you could choose from, and I just choose to skip it this time. I still have a couple loaves of bread in the freezer, and we're just not huge bread eaters, so I'll leave it there for somebody else to take. And then you had a choice of a whole chicken, and a pork loin, or 2 whole chickens. So I chose the 2 whole chickens because my family eats these like crazy. It's nothing for me, my husband, and my 5 kids to polish a whole one off in one dinner. So yay, those are good. And then I just threw them in a Walmart bag because they're leaking. So obviously they're frozen, but I'll make sure when I put them in the freezer that I wrap them up. And then they had, there's a lady that works with the extension agents office that comes in during these, and she always brings in a couple of papers, and I forgot to have them over here with me. A couple of papers with recipes using some of the foods that you get. So it might be the one time we got some ground pork in a can, and or it was ground chicken in a can, I think is what it was. And she made like an enchilada bake and used mostly ingredients that you had gotten, or at least one main ingredient, and then some just basic stuff that you had on hand. And then she gave you like a little sample cup of it so you could try it. So today she had a blueberry bake that had some oatmeal, and so that's what this is they even give you like the topping for it, and then it's got the instructions for it. So those are super nice and super good resource for a food bank, because a lot of times you get something like vegetarian beans and tomato sauce or canned pork that you have no idea how to use because it's not something that you normally cook with. And so they give you ideas of how to use it. And this lady was running down when we were on our way out. She was talking about, okay, here's you can use the ground pork to make enchiladas. You could make pulled pork. You could make this casserole. Anywhere that you have like shredded chicken, you could put in this shredded pork. So that was kind of a nice resource that they had available for people that come to the food bank. Because like I said, even things like dried beans, there's a lot of people that don't know how to cook with dried beans because they've always used canned beans. And so having that resource there is super nice. So yeah, that is everything. Huge blessing to us. Those blueberries are staring at me because my kids love those. And it was an interesting one because that was on my grocery list of things to buy in the very near future. So that can come off of my grocery list now, which is a huge blessing in something that I don't have to buy. Same thing with the whole chickens. So yeah, all right. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye, and I hope God blesses you greatly today.